Hello, my fabulous crunch berries. Welcome to another episode of Whatcha Packin. We are here with Indianapolis's own Sierra Miss.
Hi, Mom. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You look amazing.
You look amazing. This beautiful navy is so lovely on your skin.
Thank you.
You know, gingers can wear a lot of colors and pull them off beautifully. This navy kind of smoking jacket is gorgeous.
Thank you. I feel very witchy and magical, which is very the vibe all the time.
Is that a thing for you?
Yeah, you know, a little bit of manifesting, spellcrafting, tarot.
Is it your thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that.
So I think there's just so much magic in the world that we live in and nature, and so to be able to tap into that and feel your own power and the community around you is very spiritual and magical.
You're like a little druid.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that, a little wood nymph touching trees.
Right, you know, and some people should touch grass.
Amen to that. And my ass while they're
I
at
love
it.
that, yeah.
So Sierra, Indianapolis, did you know Darlene Mitchell?
No, so Darlene had moved to LA before I had relocated to Indianapolis. I went to college in Indiana. Immediately was like, oh, we have to venture out of this. It's the Bible Belt. And so I was like, I have to get out if I need to find myself and to experience diversity in other worldviews. So I lived in Chicago, DC, and I started working in Atlanta.
DC?
Yeah, in DC, I worked for the United States Secret Service.
No, you didn't.
I did,
What
yeah.
did you do? Is it a secret?
I can't tell you what I did,
Okay.
or I'd have to kill you, which I don't. We don't want to do that.
No, not yet.
I worked as a forensic imaging analyst.
Was that your degree?
Yeah, so I studied computer graphics and forensic science.
Is forensic imaging what I think it is, like death stuff?
It includes crime scene photography, videography, analyzing and enhancing those photos to be ready to present in a courtroom. We're not changing anything, of course,
Right.
but just making those things more apparent.
That's kind of a cool gig. Does it pay well?
It does, and it also gives you a lot of trauma. I took a break for a bit and then started to explore other passions during that time. I was doing more creative design work, and then eventually my character design illustration work, which I was doing freelance, connected me with another reality TV show called Face Off.
Oh, yeah. How cool.
Yeah.
This explains so much, because, you
Yeah.
know, people that are watching Whatcha Packin, thank you for coming here episode after episode, but this is really the first time where I get to talk to these kids.
Yeah.
And this tells me so much about the way you paint.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
And listen, I'm known to be very particular in changing it up, and I should have come for your lip, but I didn't come for your lip because I was like,
didn't have the time.
we didn't have the time, and I definitely would have. As a challenge,
Yeah.
not anything else. You never change who you are. That's
Yeah.
never my goal. My goal is, okay, what else?
Yeah.
So that explains a lot in your artistic approach to your paint.
I love to describe myself as a shapeshifter. It's part of why I chose the chameleon for my animal.
Which was gorgeous.
Thank you. A lot of my inspiration, yes, comes from the world of 80s horror and transformation
Love,
and prosthetics.
what's your favorite? What's your favorite?
I think The Fly is definitely like up there as far as transformation.
Yeah, many times I walk around saying a fly crawled into the chamber.
Yes!
And nobody knows what I'm talking about.
Those
so
people are lame.
thank you. They're not our people,
No.
Sierra.
I as a kid was very shy and I lived in Marvel comic books. I think my makeup, a lot of it comes from this idea of being female illustration rather than female illusion.
Makes so much sense.
Yeah, everything is exaggerated, but that's not to say that I'm afraid of doing something that's a little bit more demure or mindful.
And you have the ability, and
Yes.
you have a hell of a figure, if you don't mind me saying.
Thank you.
And she likes to show it off.
Yes.
Which I'm here for. You a natural ginger?
I was as a kid, but as you know, wizened with age, so we need a little zhuzh here and there.
I'm all about the zhuzh.
Yeah.
So how did you actually find drag?
So actually, I was hired as a makeup artist to do prosthetic makeup on set with Naomi Smalls and Shea Coulee.
How cool.
And I was doing all of these hunky, muscular boys as these Egyptian gods.
Somebody has to.
Right, but I was researching who the models were because I didn't know who I hadn't
You
watched
didn't watch
Drag Race
Drag
at the time.
Race,
Yeah,
okay.
and at the time, the finale of season 9 had just aired. So I was meeting Shea Coulee on the heels of her pedal catastrophe, but I was mystified. And I had heard the term drag queen, and in looking back, I'm like, everything that I've done before has been drag. It just maybe wasn't gender play in
Or
that way.
presented as.
Exactly. And so once I found it, I felt like it was a quick sort of snowball effect. It took a little bit though, I think, for me to feel comfortable with the femininity part of it.
Okay, explain that.
I think I feel very comfortable presenting male and being affirmed in that way. And so it took a little bit because I identify as bisexual. And so a lot of what I was told is like, that's not real. You're eventually gonna be gay. And so a lot of the language I was getting from gay men was, this is who you have to be, this is how you have to look, this is who you are. And trying to feel comfortable in that space and connect with that made me afraid of femininity, of putting on a lash or lipstick.
Such an important conversation we're having right now because bi-erasure is real. And I'm going to admit being part of the problem in the past because growing up for us, boys in particular, girls weren't even on the radar, didn't feel safe to be gay. So they're dipping their toe in the waters of homosexuality was saying they were bi. It wasn't until I got older and had conversations with people who are bisexual. And even my own child is like, Mom, you need to listen to what you're saying. Because it is real. So I really appreciate you talking about that within the community, you were being repressed.
Yeah, it was really when I started to shift my attention inward and say, well, what makes me happy? That's when I was like, oh, I can put a lash on, I can put lipstick on. Not because I was suddenly like, oh, I've been waiting for this my whole life, but because I was like, this is yet another avenue of my transformation or my art or my shape-shifting that I can play with. So suddenly all the female superheroes that I would draw in the margin, who really are just Sierra Mist precursors, now get to come to life.
Oh,
so,
Sierra, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Sitting here getting to speak to you explains a lot about your talent show choice. Because you really are a really kind of deeper, earnest, salt of the earth type of thinker.
I like to have a lot of fun, especially in drag. I feel like I get to be sort of a megaphone to all the things that Ryan is outside of drag. I can be a little bit more flirtatious, a little bit more bubbly and outgoing and tap into that sort of effervescent part of myself. But as an individual, I find myself being a little bit more introspective, a little bit more mindful and intentional. And so I knew that everybody was gonna come out with some sort of cock-a-cow, lip sync, whatever. And I had ideas for that as well, but I've gone through some like darker pieces in my life over the last couple of years, and I knew that I wanted to sort of reflect on those things and share that in a way that felt not only meaningful for me to process those things, but also for other people that are going through those things.
Which is lovely and wonderful.
Yeah.
But you know, in the landscape.
Yeah. Oh, I watched the same talent show you did.
That's what I mean.
It was insanely good. I love that I did that, but looking at the talent show, I was like, oh, I'm at the fiercest drag show ever, and then I was like, oh, I'm in the bottom down.
That's the way it happens. It's surreal. How involved are you in your looks?
I am anally involved in every look.
The chameleon was an amazing choice.
Thank you.
For your animal.
Yes.
Who made that?
Myself and basically my entire drag community. It's so many pieces and parts. We hand sculpted the tongue out of clay, molded it. The horns and the helmet I sculpted, sewed and airbrushed the bodysuit, and then it was a lot of stoning.
Yes. And this gorgeous purple reminds me of the Haunted Mansion, and my house is modeled after it. So that makes me very happy, like the floating witch lady. Tell me about that.
I wanted to do something that was sort of a fusion between Crimson Peak, which is another like effects masterpiece. Doug Jones is an idol of mine, who's also from Indiana, and the librarian from Ghostbusters.
Okay. Oh my God, so random.
You know, again, 80s sort of, all these things that sort of live in my little childhood brain. But yeah, I wanted to sort of feel like a floating spirit in the wind, just sort of hauntingly there. And I had like a skull face prosthetic that would reveal under the veil, so I could be
She loves a prosthetic.
She does. And people might think that like I'm hiding behind those, but really I feel so in touch with the monsters in those movies. The Carrie Whites of the world. It's just like, there are people who are called the others and the freaks, and I'm like, that's really where I feel the most at home.
And then this zaddy.
Yeah, so I actually perform as a drag king sometimes, so Sierra Mister gets to make appearances. Yeah, and again, it's all drag. Everybody can participate in it, and so performing as somebody who is more on the cis male side in a drag king persona, it's a level of masculinity and stupidity that I don't get to achieve in my daily life. So just to become this macho himbo.
Cartoony, yeah.
Exactly. So this would be for if there was a makeover challenge. I had a bride outfit and this motorcycle gang Frankenstein.
I love it.
Yeah.
You have been a joy, and what I loved most about you, yes, your drag is beautiful and fun and quirky and so independently and uniquely you.
Thank you.
But I loved your aura and your attitude. Every time you were out there, you were there to have fun.
Yeah.
You were there to soak it all in, listen person, if we had something to say, I could tell that it was registering. So many of the young ones, and I've been there, you've been there, 21, 22, 23, we were invincible. We couldn't be told anything.
Yeah.
When I was 21, I was gonna be the next Madonna. You couldn't tell me. You didn't like it? Don't care.
She sent a cease and desist.
Thank you. So here we are.
Yeah.
Point is, when you're getting older and you've been doing it for a while and you have security and strength and confidence, I feel like you want to learn how to grow, right?
Yes.
And that's why I could feel from you when you were up there, and I really appreciated that about you. I think you're so much fun. Don't ever stop being who you are.
Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that.
And I can't wait to see you performing all over the world.
I am gonna take over the world, Michelle.
Yes,
I'm
you
very
are.
excited. Thank you.
And thank you for watching. So we'll see you next time on Whatcha Packin. Bye.
I see the sun shining bright, ain't a cloud in the sky. Yeah, it's a good day.
But you get it too.
Oh, yeah.
Good. Let's talk about these gorgeous
You
pieces.
said, let's wrap that one up.
Okay. Hey there, it's Michelle Visage. Do you say yay for gay? Well then join me and subscribe to RuPaul's Drag Race YouTube channel.